Hey, what's up, family? This is Marseille, aka the Property Pastor, here with Kingdom Legacy Builders. And our mission here is to help everyday people to build a lasting legacy for future generations using real estate and wealth creation methods. You know, Proverbs 13:22, it says that a good person, they leave an inheritance for their children's children. And then it says that the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just or the righteous. And we want to teach you guys kingdom principles. We want to teach you wealth generation. We want to teach you through real estate, through acquiring assets. And we're kicking off this new series, and it's really talking about things that you should invest in 2021. You know, we're at the very beginning of 2021. The year is off to a crazy start, but I'm believing God for great things this year. You know, I'm trying to make great decisions that are going to set me up for success, and I'm praying nothing but the same for you. So I wanted to do a series just about things that you need to invest in 2021. Now, in this series, I'm not going to be digging into specific stocks that you should invest in, or you should buy this kind of asset class, or buy your first investment property, in those kind of specifics. But we're going to kind of do a little bit of an intro, because some folks are really early in their journey. They got a ton of questions, you know. So I want this series to be a foundational type of series. So the very first thing I want to talk about in this series that you should invest in 2021 is your financial education. Right, your financial education is critical. It's important. You know, everybody's got to start somewhere. You know, and the thing is, some things that you really want to learn and understand this year are net worth. You know, net worth is basically the difference between your assets, the amount of money that you have in assets versus the amount of money you have in liabilities. We should have a clear understanding of what our net worth is. You know, every day not every day, but you know, once a week or whatever, many of us get on a scale and we weigh ourselves, and it tells us, you know, hey, you know, you got some work to do. The holidays been, you know, you ate too much during the holidays, or you meet your goals, right? That scale gives us an understanding of how much we weigh. Our net worth gives us a financial snapshot of how much we are worth, and what we can actually pass on to future generations. And that's what we're here. That's what we're all about here at Kingdom Legacy Builders. So understanding your net worth is knowing your assets minus your liability. So that's really going to be things like your house, your cars. It's going to be, you know, credit card debt. It's going to be, you know, real estate you might own, you know, all the different things that you possess, and those things, what they're worth or they're valued at. And then it's going to subtract out the liabilities or the things that you owe people. And what is left is basically that's your weight, right? That's your financial weight. And what that means is that if something were to happen to you, those things could be liquidated or sold, right? And that money generated could be passed on to a future generation. So net worth is critical. So you really need to learn how to calculate net worth. And there's a ton of tools out there. You know, there's software. I use mint.com. I love Mint. You know, it really just gives you you know, you can plug in your different accounts, your credit cards, your mortgage. You can plug in how much a car is worth, you know, all these kind of things. And every time you swipe your debit card or whatever, your credit card, it drops it into Mint, and you get a clear picture of what your net worth is. You know, so that's a great tool. Next thing that we want to invest in terms of our financial education is how to create a budget, right? You got to get on a budget. If you don't tell your money where to go, it's going to leave, right? And the thing about it is, many of us suffer because there's too much month left over at the end of our money. And the problem with that is that many of us are living a lifestyle that we can't really afford. So, you know, the thing about your lifestyle, if you can't afford your lifestyle, then basically your upkeep will actually become your downfall, right? Let me say that again for the folks who if it went over your head. If, you know, your upkeep, right, trying to look good, trying to impress people, right, that will ultimately be your downfall, because you can't sustain that level of debt. You actually can pass that on, you know, to your kids or whatever, right? But learn how to get on a budget. And Mint, you know, they got budgeting tools. They're great. You know, there's the old pen and pad method. There's spreadsheets, right? You know, I got another video that talks about the 60 10 10 10 10 rule. You know, 60% going to your expenses, and the other 40% basically going to things like savings, retirement, debt pay down, and investment. The next thing is learn how your 401k plan works. If you have an employee sponsored 401k plan, you know, I tell people to max them out, right? At the end of the day, max out whatever your employer pays. So if your employer matches the first 4%, at 100%, you should be given at least 4%, right? Sometimes their first 4% is 100. Second, you know, the next 2% might be 50 or whatever it is. But take advantage of that company match. You know, that's money that are given to you into that plan. So definitely take advantage of it. Understand how it works. You know, the other piece is recognize what kind of insurance you need. You know, if you don't have a lot of assets and your job is your main source of income and you don't have any other sources of income, then if you get hurt, if you get sick, right, you got to understand, how are you gonna pay the bills? And many people are just a paycheck away from being homeless, y'all, and that's a sad reality, but it's a reality for many of us out here today. So recognize how life insurance works. There's disability insurance. What's the difference between whole life, term insurance, all those kind of things. You want your family to be taken care of if something happens to you, and a lot of us are actually uninsured. So it's really important that you start investing, understanding how life insurance works, especially if you got a decent paying job and some extra income. Make sure you're insured. Next thing, man, I can't stress this enough. Please get a will, right? Get a will. Unfortunately, many of my African American brothers and sisters, we don't have a will. And unfortunately, as when one of us dies, we're sitting around in siblings are fighting over stuff. Kids are fighting over stuff because we didn't have a will, and then we got to go to court, to probate court and all this kind of stuff, just to figure out what we're going to do with Big Mama's house, and one sibling might, try to steal the house from everybody else. Y'all get a will, right? They're easy to set up. You just go see a lawyer. The crazy thing, when I set my will up several years ago, man, my company actually had it as a free resource. So that's the other thing, man. Get on your company internet page, go talk to HR and ask them. A lot of times they got all these benefits. Sometimes we trying to get, discounts on the fitness club, and we don't recognize that we actually can get a discount on will preparation and legal services, right? So y'all, please get a will. Make that a part of your 2021 plan. Invest in a will. The next thing is, how much money do you need to save in order to retire? A lot of us are dependent on, a lot of people are dependent on Social Security. Y'all, I have no confidence in the Social Security system. If that's all you got, looking forward to a Social Security check, that system was not designed for where it is now. It's going to run out of money. Mark my words, it will run out of money. And the thing is, you need to understand how much money do you need to retire. That's why I'm a big proponent. That's why I invest in real estate, because my assets will take care of my lifestyle. Long after I stop working, the money coming in from my rentals, the money coming in from, mutual funds and stocks and things like that, that's going to support my lifestyle, and it's going to also support my kids' lifestyle. So recognize how much you need to save in order to retire. Next thing, how are you going to pay for college? If you got 2-3 kids, right? Get a college plan. They got 529 savings plans. You don't want to get there to senior year in college and look over and your baby's done all the work, right? They got good grades. They've stayed out of trouble, and now you look at them like, I'm sorry, baby, I don't know what to do, right? Recognize what it's going to take for them to get to college, and even if that means taking out loans, if that means working extra jobs, right? Have a plan. There's a wise saying. It says that when we fail to plan, that we plan to fail, right? So plan out how much money it's going to take for your kids to go to school. And if you got a freshman in high school, you got a sophomore in high school, don't wait till senior year to start applying for scholarships and all that financial aid and stuff. Start working on it early and often. Go talk to them guidance counselors. Man, beat that door down and tell them, hey, what do I need to do to get my child in school? Is it ROTC? What is it, right? Don't wait. So the thing is, figure out how much you need in order to send your kids to college. We're about building a legacy, and you want to build a legacy, not an apology, right, to your kids when it's all said and done. As you're looking through all of these things, right, you need resources. So the question becomes, who can I learn from? Who's already done this? There's so much power in mentorship. Who's already walked that walk? Ask questions. People at church, drop questions in the comment section. We'll answer your questions. Find videos on YouTube to watch. Read books. Cut off Netflix. Cut off Amazon Prime. Take a break. Take an hour a day and learn, right? What tools are there out there to help you? I talked about mint.com, that kind of software. There's Crown Financial. There's all sorts of softwares out there to help you guys in this journey. My wife is a certified Dave Ramsey financial coach. Hit me up. If you want her contact information, I'll shoot it to you. She does free consultations, free 30-minute consultations for people. But what tools are there out there to help you? And the thing is, right, who is already further along in the journey than you are? Learn from people, Invest in your financial education in 2021, and trust me, you'll look back at 2022 when you get to the end of 21 going into 2022, and you'll be so glad that you took these steps. Y'all, this has been Marseille, the property pastor. In this series, things that you need to invest in for 2021. We got more great videos coming to you. Make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. We're going to be dropping new content for you to help you to build a legacy for future generations. I love you guys. I'm praying for you. Can't wait to see you again soon. God bless.